Let's see. Okay, can y'all hear me now? It was acting a little janky. Can y'all hear me? Y'all should be able to hear me now. Let me know. Yes? Perfect. All right. Yes. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Y'all miss me? I miss y'all. I miss y'all. And I miss y'all for a few reasons. You know, I be out here looking at what y'all doing and I be like, I got to come back. I got to come back and help the people. I got to make sure I come back and help the people. Because it's a lot of janky people out here. It's a lot of janky people out here. And when it's a lot of janky people, y'all already know what the deal is. It's open season for scammers. Okay? It's open season for scammers. So I have to make sure that I have to stay on the scene, because if I let y'all get too loose, y'all gonna get got. You know what I'm saying? I gotta y'all go get got. You know, I be trying to have me a little break. I be trying to chill. And it just don't be working like that. So I had to come back, make sure y'all safe out here, and make sure y'all ain't getting got. You know what I'm saying? Like so anyway, where y'all coming in from? Are you on my Facebook page? Are you on my YouTube channel? Are you listening in on Twitter? Are you watching from LinkedIn? Where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the chat. All right. So I'm excited because we're going to be talking about the stuff that I love and I know can be challenging for some, but it is probably the number one thing that has allowed me to scale my business. Okay. It has allowed me to build a $1 million brand, mainly because of what we're going to be talking about today. So you probably can already tell from the topic what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about automation, baby. We're going to be talking about automation. I am a lover of all things automation, right? I love, love, love automation. I love everything that automation allows my company and organization to do. We're able to really not spend so much money working with a lot of people because we have automation in place. So I look at automation as a team, right? And with my tools are my tech team. Y'all get it? Y'all get it? Just put get it in the chat, right? Yeah, it's like I know it can be intimidating, but I want to talk to you about it. Okay, so if y'all ready, just put ready in the chat. Also, make sure y'all tell people about this. Don't be, you know what I'm saying, tag some folks, share it. If you're watching in the Facebook group, you can tag other group members, but you can't tag people who are outside the group. But if you're watching this anywhere like LinkedIn, YouTube, or on my public Facebook fan page, you can tag some folks. So make sure you are tagging some people to be here so we can have a good time. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is why I love automation, right? And I'm trying to get good with storytelling. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a get in, get out type of girl. But I think it's important if I give you all a story and context. All right. So long time ago, when I first got on the internet, in 2013, let's say 2013, 14. Because if I showed y'all my stuff from 2013, y'all gonna laugh. Okay. And it's not laughing season right now. So we're not gonna laugh. So let's just skip to 2014. So 2014 comes around and I decided that I want to put this program out there, right? I wanted to put together this little 15, 20-minute training. It was called 10 steps to building a premium brand. I think that's what it was. But basically, I was trying to come for the people who had raggedy branding online. It's still true. I probably could pull it out the crevices and still run it and it'll still be relevant in 2022. But in 2014, I put together this training. And when I put together this training, the whole point of this training was to put myself out there, right? And at the time, I was using tech and automation. Now, before we get into that, I want to tell you one thing that I did that like changed the game for me. Now, all of this stuff is like light years ahead of what I'm about to tell you, but I want to tell you how big a phenomenon that was. So y'all used to emailing people, right? You compose it, you put in somebody's email address and you send it to them, right? Okay, so for me, I remember getting my MailChimp account and getting someone to get on an email list. At the time, I didn't know what the hell it was, but basically your email list. And your email list should be people who have consented to be on your email list. But we're not going to talk about the people who don't be doing it right. We're not going to talk about that. So back in the day, people would get on my email list, and these are people who actually wanted to hear from me. So if you got a text message today, you consented for me to send you a text. If you got an email from me ever, you consented, meaning you gave me permission. But anyway, back in the day, when I got my MailChimp account, I was so excited about building an email list. Like that was all the rave. It's still all the rave. But back then it was a big deal. Like if you had an email list, you could print money. That's what they said. So I had this email list. So I put this email list together, and I remember being able to compose an email and send it to hundreds of people at one time. Do y'all know how fascinating that is to like set up an email, put what you want to say, and at the click of a button, boom, it's in somebody's email box. Y'all, game changer. All right. Like even like today, I just sent out a text message to, let's see, how many people did we send this text message out? We sent this text message out to 3,700 people. Okay. So, 3,700. So 3,714 people. I literally put together a little text. I said, hey, I'm live right now. Come and tap in. So people are tuning in to this live stream from the Facebook group, from my personal page, from my YouTube channel, all because of automation. And so that's why I want to talk about automation, because when you can automate something, that means you can have some actions that do work for you. Automation seems very, and I'll say this because a lot of people are very anti-automation. They're anti-funnel. They're anti-fill in the blank as it relates to automation. 9 times out of 10, those people are working their buns off because they don't have automation in place. So I want to talk about 6 systems, like 6 automation systems you should have, and really go into the intricacies of those automations. But before we do, I want to give you a hack. Just put hack in the chat, okay? I want to put hack in the chat. I want to share something with you real quick. So if you don't have my offers planner, okay, or the offer center system, that's cool, okay? But I want to show you what's really cool about the offer planner. So in the offers planner, if you go to selling offer, okay, in the thing, there's a section in here called sketch your funnel. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it says sketch your funnel. It's basically like a grid paper where you can sketch out your sales process. All right. So people ask me all the time, like, hey, I don't really know how to create a sales process, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go old school today. All right. We're going to go old school. So what I like to do when I am about to build a funnel, and I do this with every funnel, anything you've ever seen me create started on a piece of paper. Okay. And I asked my husband to bring me my sketchbook so y'all can see I'm not BSing. Okay. And I wanted to show you how we incorporate it into our product, because this is something that I truly believe. The reason that automation is hard for some people is because you're trying to think about automation in the tool. Okay. That ain't how you automate. You automate outside the tool before you even jump into the tool. Because if you can't see the lay of the land, you don't know what you want to happen. You don't know what you want to take action. So the best old school way to do it, okay, the best old school way to do it is to go to the art store if you don't have an offer system, okay, is to go to your local art store and get you one of these, I call them big ass art books, okay? I call them big art books, okay? It's the huge art books. I can tell you what this one is. I'm not a sponsor or anything, but I want to show you real quick. It's like a mixed medium book, and this one is a 14 by 17, okay? So 14 by 17. Now, what I love about these books is that I get to have my automation playground. I get to sketch out my things. I got my markers and pens and all of the things. I get to really have a good time with it, right? Because I get to think through logically what I want to take place. All right. We're going to get into it. If you ain't got time, you can go. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it. But I want to give you foundations, and I want to give you context to how I'm able to whip things into shape, right? So the reason that people struggle with automation is because they're too busy trying to tinker in the tool, okay? And when you're trying to tinker in the tool, you can't see the next step. Somebody put next step in the chat. When you're tinkering in the tool, you can only do one aspect at a time, right? If I sketch it out, I ain't gonna show y'all my new funnel. Let me show you an old funnel. Okay? Yeah, I did this one too. I did that one. We're gonna go with this one. Some old school. Okay. So hiring. Okay. I put together a hiring funnel. Okay. Can y'all see that? I got opt-in page. I got about the role. Okay. And then I have a thank you page. Okay. Now, the beauty in this is that when I go and talk to my graphic designer or whoever is going to help me, I can tell them, okay, I know I'm going to have one video. I've already outlined what I'm going to put in the video. I know that I need a photo of me because I said I was going to put a about section on there. I've already said I'm going to put a logo at the top. So what? I need my logo. I've already identified what I want to happen on the next page. So in this example, I said, okay, I want people to opt in. After they opt in, I want them to watch a video about the role. And underneath the video, I want a button that takes them to the application. So because I already sketched this out and I already, said what I want to happen, guess what I get to do? I get to go create my opt-in page. I've already identified that it's going to have a video. I've already identified that it's going to have some information about me. I've already identified what I'm going to cover in the video. I know that after someone opts in and give me their contact information, I want them to go to another page. I've already identified what I want to be true on that page. Well, on that page, I want them to see a welcome video, not a welcome video, but a video about the role. And I want people to be able to apply for the job position we have. And then after they apply, I want to take them to a custom thank you page where I say, hey, thank you for applying for a role here at UnCloned Media, blah, blah, blah. Right. So that's an example of like sketching it out before you need to. Right. Does that make sense? Just put yes in the chat. And one thing that I try to do is make it as simple as humanly possible for you all to get it. All right. Let me see if I got another funnel in here. I got so many funnels in here. I also do it for our workbooks too. I use our sketchbook for workbook designs. So right here, hopefully y'all can see this. This is a sketch of a workbook, a worksheet concept. Okay. I had a concept for a worksheet and I sketched it out. I took a picture with my phone, and I sent it to my graphic designer. I want to show you that page in here. Okay. So in here, under product suite, I believe that's where it's at. Yeah. This is the exact same page. Okay. Can y'all see that? Product suite at a glance. That's the design. So I be knowing if y'all stealing my stuff because I sketch my things out first. So if somebody is taking something from me or they say, oh, I already came up with it. No, you didn't, sis. That's my shit all day. Quit thieving. Okay. That's mine. All my stuff and all my planners are copyrighted. So it's original to moi. Okay. Because you hear people say all the time, ain't nothing original under the sun. My sketches is. Okay. So this is what we sketched out. I'm going to try to see if I can get the light to make it look a certain way. Okay. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see that. So that's the sketch. I'm trying to show it so y'all can see it together. All right. And then that's the actual final design. Okay. Y'all see the sketch? Final design. So I also do it for like workbooks and stuff too. Okay. All right. So anywho, let's get into the 6 automations. All right. Which I came here for. So now that you have context, we've already identified that you need to sketch out. We've already identified that you need to sketch out what you want to happen before you put it in the tool. Now, some of you all who are like automation genius, you're like, I don't do that. I just go in and just cool. But you don't allow your brain to process what you want to happen. Okay. You could totally go in there. But what ends up happening, and I see it all the time with my clients, and I see it all the time with people who think they know automation. When you are not sketching it out, when you're not planning it out, when you're not planning out your automation, you actually skip steps or you forget steps that you should have remembered. And you can't do that if you're in the tool thinking about how the tool wants you to set up as opposed to thinking about your strategy first. So hopefully y'all get that. Hopefully it didn't go over your head. If it did go over your head, then you should be in the mastermind. Okay, I got you. Okay. Anywho, so let's go over the 6 automations you need to have, the automation systems. And the reason I said automation systems, right? And the reason I said automation systems was because there's so many tools and tech and strategies and ways that you could go about it. So I'm just going to say a system, but just know that for every system that I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to need multiple softwares to make the system happen. And sometimes you have software that, one tool could be your all-in-one, but depending on the strategy, hence what you sketch out, will determine what tools you need for the system. If you got it, just put yes in the chat. Okay. I don't want to go on until y'all get that. Do y'all get that? I'm going to be going over 6 systems. Each system could be comprised of multiple automations, multiple tools. However, there are technology out there where one tool could be a part of that system. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So the first system we're going to go over, and you all could pull out a pen and paper and rate yourself and be honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing with this particular system, right? That's what you want to ask yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well am I doing with this system? Because some of us have nailed these systems. Some of us haven't nailed these systems. Some of us need to improve these systems. And for some of us, none of these systems exist. I mean, there's no shade to you, but hopefully once you put some of these systems in place, you could get to see where you missing your money. That's the whole point of this. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because I feel like as small business owners who sometimes don't have a lot of capital to hire, for some reason skip technology and automation. Technology and automation is the number one reason why I don't have to have a slew of employees or a slew of a team, right? Because of the automations and technology that I put in place, we're able to run a very lean machine that's extremely profitable. So that's another reason why you want to master your technology, because when you master your tech and automation, you actually save money. It's tedious to think through, like, oh, I got to set up this tool. I don't know how to build a funnel. I don't know how to automate. I don't know how Zapier work. Don't get caught up in that, right? Do not get caught up in that. What you need to know is that, damn, if I had this in place, I could remove 15 steps. Oh, if I had this in place, I can always make money when this automation is fired off. Oh, if I could have this thing going every 15 minutes all day, every day, when I go speak and people integrate with this, it will work, right? Like, you need to look at automation as being your super team. The super team that doesn't complain. Let me tell you, okay? Automation don't complain, okay? It don't talk back. It never gets sick unless it's outdated. It don't get sick, and it will work as long as you set it up properly, okay? That's the beauty of automation. So just want to put that out there. So the first system you want to have in place is your marketing and sales system, okay? Your marketing and sales automation, okay? Now, there's a lot of ways you can automate your marketing, right? That's why I said I'm not going to go super deep on all the ways you can automate your marketing, but I want to give you an example, okay? One way you can automate your marketing is by running Facebook ads to your website. And when somebody buys something off your website, it automatically sends them what they pay for. You know, now we're talking about like product delivery and marketing automation, but like, I just want to kind of give you a general idea of what that looks like. Another example of that would be a sales funnel. Every time somebody opts in to something that you have, a series of steps happen, right? So you might say, hey, I want to have a consultation funnel as an example. Whenever somebody goes to this page, I want them to be able to learn more about my consultation, put in their information, and then an email. You know, they basically go to a page where they can book a call with me. That can be 100% automated. So that's your marketing and sales system. So if you have your Facebook ads marketing that, hey, I'm doing free consults, business consultations, and you know that like your close rate on your business consultations are really good and you can move people into a service, why not offer free business consultations? People can go opt in, claim a spot on your calendar, you meet with them, and you close the deal. Now, one of the systems I forgot to put on here, and I'm going to add it to this one as I'm talking. And I didn't put that on here. So one of the things I will say is that once you have a marketing system, you have to have a follow-up system. Someone put follow-up in the chat. Okay. Once you have a marketing and sales system, you have to have a follow-up system. That means once I integrate with your marketing, what happens if I don't take action, right? Are you going to follow up with me? Are you going to call me? Are you going to text me? What's going to happen if I don't do what you told me to do, right? So let's say this is where automation comes into play, because at a manual level, this is too much for one person. This is why you got to get technology that allow you to do this. So going back to this original example, let's say somebody opt in, okay? When they opt in and they're ready to book this call, let's say you have an opt-in page and they don't book the call for whatever reason. If they don't book the call, who's going to follow up with them? Is it going to be a person who picks up the phone and say, hey, we need to call that lead? That's $10,000. Let me call them. Okay, for every person who don't sign up, how will you know they didn't sign up? How will you know? Let's say 50 people opted in, and of the 50, 25 of those people booked a call and 25 didn't. Do you know based on your tool who did it and who didn't? Do you know on your tool who booked a call and didn't show up? Do your tool allow you to say, hey, Sally didn't show up today for the call? Are you blocking Sally to never come back and do a call again? Or are you going to allow Sally to come back and book a call again? And if so, is it a fee this time? Maybe it was free the first time, but now it's a fee because she missed it the first time. Are y'all getting what I'm putting down? This is why I said you have to sketch this out. You have to put this on paper, because if you're trying to think through all those if, then, or what type of situations that I'm saying right now, your brain gonna go, psh. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, bro, this is too much. What is going on? This is too much, bro. So that's why I'm telling you, you have to sketch the process out first. What do I want to happen? Well, what if this happened? What if that happened? Well, what if this don't fire off? Or what, you get what I'm saying? So you have to slow your brain down so you can actually think through the thing. Okay, y'all getting what I'm putting down? Okay, great. All right. So after having your marketing and sales system, you need a follow-up system for the marketing and sales system, right? And what your follow-up system should do is notify you when something didn't take place. It should notify you of those who took action and those who did not take action. It should tell you who purchased and who didn't purchase. It should tell you who showed up and who didn't show up. That's what your follow-up system should be able to tell you. It should be able to tell you, hey, I sent an email to them, but they didn't open it. It should be able to tell you they opened the email and they actually didn't click it. It should be able to tell you they opened the email, they click, but they didn't purchase. That's a follow-up system to the marketing and sales system, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, I don't want you all to get overwhelmed, because I'm feeling that y'all getting overwhelmed. Just say overwhelm is for. Not gonna say that. Let's keep it positive. I will not be overwhelmed. You can put that in the chat. Just put that in the chat. I will not be overwhelmed. Okay. I will not be overwhelmed. Just put that in the chat. All right. We're only on system 1. All right. We're only on system 1. Again, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to be in your feelings. I want you to really process the opportunity here. How many of you all are hearing this and be like, damn, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I didn't know that I could do that too. Oh, okay. Well, what if I did put this in place? How much money I'm leaving on the table when people don't follow up? Are y'all getting what I'm saying? So hopefully your brain goes out of overwhelm and into opportunity mode. Okay. Just say, I'm turning on opportunity mode. I'm turning on money making mode. I'm turning on, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should get excited that there's technology that allows you to not do the heavy lifting, right? The fact that you can put technology in place and not have to like, did you know there's a tool that lets you auto dial people and remind them to do something? Yeah. Technology, right? Technology. All right. So that's number 1. And then number 2 is a follow-up system. All right. Number 3. I probably should have saved this one for last, because I was in my feeling about this next one. You know what I'm saying? I was in my feelings earlier today about number 3. Number 3. If y'all ready for number 3, just put 3 in the chat. If you ready for number 3, just put 3 in the chat. Okay? Put 3 in the chat. The next system we're talking about here is client automation. Okay? Client automation. How many of you all have purchased something all to be left and taken to a dead end? Somebody say, hey, buy my consult. You buy the consult and you like, and there's no way to actually book the call. Aha. Then you say, okay, well, all right, I'm going to sell this VIP day. I'm going to sell a $10,000 VIP day. Client pay, they put their information in. You sitting on the other side like, damn, where's my welcome email? Well, are they gonna tell me where we meeting at? Do I get my Zoom link? Like, where's my stuff at? Like, you know what I'm saying? How many of you all felt like, God damn, I bought something from you and you left me dry, right? You left me dry. One thing people ain't gonna say about us is that we don't have poor follow through. If you buy something from us, we're going to be on your ass. Okay. Like, hey, did you check in? Matter of fact, I just invested in a whole platform just to annoy my clients who are not taking action. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We invested in a tool that will annoy my clients and my mastermind clients. If you on here, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh man, it's going to keep telling you every day, hey, you got some stuff to do today. 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 Guess what? It ain't me. It's the tool. It ain't me. It's the tool. The tool is like, hey, buddy, are you going to do what you said you're going to do? What's up? I need you to come in, log in, and do the thing I told you to do. All right? And then eventually, they're going to get sick of seeing that email. And they're going to say, let me go in there and do what she's telling me to do. She told me to read this book. Let me read the book. She told me to watch this video. Let me watch the video. She told me, because on top of us being annoying, we also have technology in place to text you. Hey, just want to know what's going on with you. How you doing today? We have automation in place based on how long it takes for you to log in. So if you don't log in within a certain period of time, somebody on the team like, hey, what's going on? We didn't see you on the call. What's going on? What's going on? So that's your client automation, right? So client automation is all about fulfillment, right? Like, are you fulfilling on the things that you told people that you had people buying from you, right? The stuff that you have people buying from you, do you have the automation in place for that? The second thing I want to say about client automation too is reminders. If you're offering calls, do you send reminders? We got a whole schedule of like all these reminders that we send based on what type of call it is. We also invested in a calendar system that our clients can follow, and it automatically add the events to their calendar, and it has reminders. So you can't never say, well, oh, I didn't know we had a call today, or, oh, I didn't know we was doing this today, or, oh, I didn't know that was happening. So client automation, because if your clients ever feel like you don't give a damn about them, they will be looking for other people. We are in the age of, do you care about me? I spent all this money and no one is checking in on me. No one is seeing how I'm doing. No one is checking to see if I'm making any progress. And not only am I making any progress, but am I actually winning? Right? So that's what we mean by client automation. All right. So cool. Let's move on to the next one. This one is I just gave it a name because I didn't want to group it into automated webinars. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to call it presentation automation. All right. We're going to call it presentation automation. What do you mean? Have you all ever saw a presentation where it's like, hey, sign up for my free workshop. Hey, sign up for my free class. And basically you get on there. You pick a date and time and boom, you're on there. I love tools like that. Why? Because I get to give the same information over and over and over and over and over without physically being there. You talking about leverage to the max? Leverage to the max. Okay. If you all have any questions, please save them to the end and I will answer all the questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll be sure to get to them. Okay. So let's talk about presentation automation, because when people think about presentation automation, they only think about automated webinars. I want to talk to you about a few other ways that you can use automated webinar tools to be able to create leverage. One of the ways that we're about to use it that I wasn't even thinking about is onboarding, right? Onboarding. So allowing my clients to say, hey, whenever we get a new client, they need to register for onboarding and they need to stay to the end. Well, if I give this client a video link, then they can watch it whatever they want, but I don't know how much they watch. When did they actually leave? Did they actually even attend? Blah, blah, blah. Automated webinar software allow you to do that, right? So we're about to actually automate our onboarding. So when future clients come on, one of the things we're going to tell them is like, hey, pick a time to watch your onboarding training. And once they opt in, and let's say, they don't finish it, I don't know. The data will tell me, hey, Sally opted in and she never finished the video. Cool. I can follow up with Sally and be like, hey, you got to go watch the onboarding training. It's important information in there. See, a lot of you all can't hold your clients accountable because you don't have software that snitch. I don't know. That was funny. Was that just me? That was super funny. But anyway, some of y'all don't have snitching software, right? Software that snitch. And it's all about your software telling you, hey, that person didn't do this. That person didn't do that. That person didn't do this. My software snitch. I love that my software snitch because we don't have to worry about any issues as it relates to that, right? So anyway, that's one way you can use it. So you can use it to automate your onboarding. You can use it to automate any important presentation that's like a requirement that you want people to actually attend, and you want them to pick a time. You want them to be there in real time, and you actually want them to have fun with it. Okay. All right. So that's I think we're on fourth system. So the first one was marketing and sales automation system. The second one was follow-up system, automation system. The third one, I think that was the third. The third one is client automation. The fourth one was presentation automation. The next thing, all right, let's move on to the next one. Email automation. Email automation. All right. How many of you all have ever been to my site and was about to buy some and you didn't? You jetted out. Just put B in the chat. It's all good. It's all good. It's all love. You know why I ain't worried? Okay, we put snitching software in the chat. Okay? Like, look, don't take my stuff, y'all. Let's put snitching software in the chat. How many of y'all ever went to my site and you was like, oh man, I thought I was gonna get this thing, and then you left. What did it do? It snitched. It said Sally didn't check out. And guess what the software say? Haha, I know Sally didn't check out. Let me go tell Sally to give you your money. Okay? Y'all think it's me? It's not. It's automation, baby. It's automation. How many of you all have ever been to my site and you checked out a text message, you left, and then you got a text message that said, hey, you didn't get that thing. We saw you looking, baby. You coming back? Snitching software. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, email automation, right? Email automation, text message automation, anything that can automate an activity that people aren't taking. Also, email automation is great if you have a monthly newsletter. Email automation is great if you want to follow up with people based on something that they've done. Email automation is great for client journeys. There's a lot of ways you can use email automation, but you want to make sure you have an email automation system in place. All right. All right. The next one, digital product automation. Okay. Digital product automation. Let me say this because everybody loves digital products. They love it. They love digital products. I'm here for it. I love digital products. Hell, we just did a whole masterclass on digital products. But I have to tell you, friends, y'all can't be out here telling people to buy an ebook and then you over here in Gmail manually emailing it to them. There's technology for that. There's automation from that. Like if somebody comes to my website and they buy a course, they're going to buy it and then they're going to get an email that automatically say, hey, thank you for buying this course. They're going to get another email that say, hey, download your purchase. They're going to get another email that say, hey, watch the video. Here go the links to the workbook. Like all of that stuff is automated, right? So if you sell digital products, whether it's digital courses, digital ebooks, worksheets, templates, anything that's digital, that's a digital product, make sure you have the automation in place to automatically deliver it. If you are manually delivering a digital product, it is not passive as it could be, right? So make sure you have a digital product automation in place, all right? All right, the next thing. This is my favorite. Can y'all put a money bag in the chat? Put a money bag in the chat, all right? Put a money bag in the chat. I want to make sure y'all tapped in, okay? Just put a money bag in the chat. Put money bag in the chat. Put money bag in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure y'all still here. As y'all can tell, I'm excited. I love teaching this stuff. Like I geek out. I love it. All right, cool. Can we put money automation system in the chat? Do y'all have a way to get automatically paid? Okay. Do y'all have a way to get automatically paid? Oh, this gonna be deep. It's gonna be deep. Let's talk about it. So when we talk about money automation systems, do you have a way to automatically make money? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So there's a few ways you can have automated money systems, all right? The first obvious one would be something like a shop, right? People being able to go to your shop and buy something from you, right? Your e-com platform is taking the money from you, taking the money from your client and automatically putting it into your bank account. That's one way. The second way you can do it is with courses. If you have something like a payment plan. Now we're talking mainly about recurring revenue, right? So oftentimes when the reason that some people don't have payment plans is because they actually don't know how to set up recurring payments. So we have multiple types of recurring payments. We have recurring payments for those who have signed up for Publishing Like a Pro and they're on a payment plan. We have recurring payments for our mastermind clients who pay their monthly fees. We have recurring payments for all type of stuff, but it happens automatically. Like I don't have to reach out to my client and be like, hey, remember me? Today is the 15th. You owe me. I don't have to do that. Why? Because my tool, the technology that I'm using is collecting the money for me. If a failed payment comes through for whatever reason, my automation kicks into place. Like it say, hey, we got a failed payment. Can you put can you update your credit card? Whatever. So if you have a membership site, if you have a contractual agreement with your clients, like a coaching program, if you have anything that's a recurring fee, it's the same fee every month. If you are sending out invoices every month for something that's the same price every month, I guarantee you're not collecting as much money as you could. And the reason I say, because if your invoices are not dynamic, meaning, let's just say you work with a client and every single month they owe you $2,500 as an example. Do you automate that? You should not be sending out an invoice that's old school every single month to collect the $2,500 because it's the same exact price. So why aren't you automating that? You get what I'm saying? So the other reason you would probably send an invoice if you're dealing with a corporation and they want to be able to send you a check every month or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like people you dealing with now where you could put a credit card on file and it auto bills people. We're talking about automated money. We're talking about money automation system. And oftentimes the only time you should be sending an invoice every single month to the same client is if the price, like if what they're buying from you is dynamic every single month. Does that make sense? So if somebody this month is $5,000 and then next month is 10, then the month after that, that's 15. Of course, you put automation in place, right? You could send an invoice and then they put in their information and pay. Or you can have a money system where you have a credit card on file and you can bill them every single month according to what the new updated invoice could be. So I just wanted to say that's all the system. I gave you 7 instead of 6. Let's go over it again, and then we're going to get into Q&A. All right. So let's get into it. Marketing and sales automation system, follow-up automation system, client automation system, presentation automation system, email automation system, digital product automation system, and money automation system. You are not limited to this list. Okay. You are not limited to this list. You can literally create an automation for pretty much anything. Like I got so much stuff I really want to tell y'all, but I ain't gonna blow your brain up. I think this is good enough. If you enjoyed this, put yes in the chat. Okay. If you enjoyed this, put yes in the chat. We are going to answer any questions that you all have. In the meantime, give me 1 second. Okay. I need some water. My husband is going to give me some water. Okay. Yes. Also, are you all in the Facebook group? Are you all in our free Facebook group? Go get in our free Facebook group. Okay. It's uncloned.group. Make sure you are joining our Facebook group. Do you own any of my books? Man, they tripping. If look, I know, right? If y'all ain't got my books, stop the lie. I gotta just stop the lie. I ain't answering no. I'm just playing. Y'all get over to Audria Richmond.shop and grab my books if you don't already have them. Okay. I have all three. Yes. Okay, great. Yes, that's how I was notified. I'm in the Facebook group and I own your book. Yes, yes. Thank you. Audrey, what system are you using to answer? Are you using these different automation systems? That's a whole training. Actually, if you want to know a good portion of the systems we use, you can get the Boss Toolkit in my shop. It's called the Boss Toolkit, the UnCloned Boss Toolkit. If you go to my shop and get the UnCloned Boss Toolkit, I go over a great deal of tools that we use in my business. Matter of fact, that training actually go all up in my business as far as tools are concerned. So if you want to know what tools we use as a company, then you definitely want to check this out, because we actually go over way more tools than what I'm talking about today. So I would definitely check out our UnCloned Boss Toolkit training in our shop. You can head over to audriarichmond.shop and grab that. Okay. All right. So let me scroll to the top and get to the questions. All right. Let me scroll to the top and get to the questions. Let's see. And if you have a question, you can put it in the chat. Will you post a replay? Yes, this is going to stay up on my platform. I think. I don't know. It should. At what point does it become enabling? What do you mean? At what point does it become enabling? Maybe I'm slow. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Can you ask it a different way? All right. Can someone watch me up? I have a follow-up. What's your question? If I invest and I invest in because I want to grow my business, why do I need someone to keep reminding me? What do you mean? If I invest and I'm investing because I want to grow my business, why do I need to remind someone? Look, so you do. You do. You do. You may think like, oh, and let's speak to that. Let's speak to that. So you may not be a person that need the reminder. And I'm so glad you said that, right? Because that was my logic too. Hey, why I gotta keep following up with you? Why I gotta keep reminding you? You made the investment. Why do I have to follow up with you? You would be surprised. You will be surprised. So, get a little story time. Quick story. I'm a person, if I invest in something, I'm all in. That's just me. Okay. You ain't got to call me. You ain't got to text me. You ain't got to follow me. You ain't got to do nothing. I'm in. I invested in this. That's what I'm getting. However, we brought on our program success manager. And when we brought on our program success manager, she was like, you should have more accountability. And I thought we had accountability. I'm like, we got the monthly call, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's enough. And she was like, no, and so we did a test. We tested, we pulled some people out of our program and we put them in a little beta group to follow up with them and see where people were falling off at. And what we have found, okay, doing our research, doing our studies, and it's a lot of data that links to this. Just because someone makes an investment doesn't mean they're going to be all in, and it doesn't mean that they're going to tap in. Another thing that we have to be mindful of and considerate of and have empathy for is the fact that people are truly busy. Okay? When we buy things, we have the greatest intention to use it how we intended to use it, but life happens, right? Somebody could die. You could be a caregiver. You could be a parent. You could be juggling multiple jobs. You could be a single parent. It's a lot of reasons why someone wouldn't take care of their investment. And one of the things that we have to be mindful of is like, it ain't my business what you're doing. I know that our goal is to help you win because that's what you invested in, but it's not my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get caught up in the psychology of why people aren't doing it, and like people who invest should be doing that. And it's just like, you kind of lean more to you. You're starting to get a little too judgy when you start doing that. Me, I don't really know why you're not showing up, but it ain't my business. Our goal as an organization is to put tools and software and things in place to make sure that we follow up with our clients. It is not my business why you can't log in. It's not my business why you can't get in here and show up to a live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my business. My business as a CEO and as a person who has created this company is to create a culture and an environment that when you are ready to show up, we're going to help you win. That's my business. But anything outside of that ain't my business. Okay. All right. So hopefully that gave you context. Let's see. And maybe also context for other people too. Because you got to keep in mind, everybody is not like super ambitious, go-getter, don't follow us, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not everybody. That's like very rare personality types that's like that. All right. I think I answered that. This is where I dropped the ball. Adding 100 people to my email list. Yep. Totally understand. Let's see. Okay, I answered that. Now I get your question when you was asking at what point does it become enabling it? You know, it is what it is. Because I've been a part of programs where I personally fell off and nobody followed up with me. And I know what that felt like to get to the end of a program and nobody contacted me and told me it was over with or none of that. So there's that. Because then you run into the, I didn't know I had to the end of, so that's another reason you want to be excessive with reminding and following up with people, because people somehow forget the fine red print when it's time, when things come to an end. I didn't know I only had 12 months to that. I didn't know I had this. And really the truth is you're not opening our emails. You're not checking your text messages. You're not coming in the Facebook group. Of course you don't know what's going on, right? Can I do this in my graphic design business? Absolutely. That's where I use a lot of this before I transition to what I'm doing now. Absolutely. Kajabi is a good tool for some of these automations. Yeah. And one thing I didn't want to do too, I didn't want a tool drop. Okay. I purposely did not tool drop because there's a million tools out there that can do a million things. There's not no one tool, right? And typically the tools that get promoted the most are tied to some type of affiliate, right? So some people are like, I use this tool. This is a tool you got to use. You got to use this because this is a tool, and they just go in. And then the next thing you know, they hand you the affiliate link. So I didn't tool drop purposely because I didn't want you to think about the tool. I wanted you to think about the systems and the processes and the automation you want to have in place with your business. That's what I really wanted you to think about. What if you have a storefront and customers give numbers on order forms? Can we send a text message from? Yes. So what you can do is when they fill out the form, you can have something on there where it's like, hey, by joining our whatever club, you basically are signing up for us to send you marketing messages and so on and so forth. So absolutely, as long as you tell them that you're doing that, absolutely. The first one is marketing and sales automation and follow-up systems. Follow-up automation. I bought programs that I forgot about. I appreciate follow-up. I'm too busy. Absolutely. There needs to be a balance and something. I just said the first one. So let me say this. If you're going to do coaching, consulting, anything that we do right now, you have to be okay with doing stuff that's not something you need to be reminded of. So what am I talking about? So for an example, if I see an opportunity for something and it's $30,000 or it's $50,000 or whatever, I'm not sitting over here, oh my God, $25,000, that's too much money. They're crazy. Why would they charge? I am beyond that, right? If I see an opportunity and it's something I want to invest in, I invest in. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to overanalyze it. I don't have to call 15 people to tell me if I should or shouldn't. Like, I'm not there. However, if you're trying to get someone to invest in your high ticket thing, and this is their first high ticket investment, you have to go back to who you used to be when that was a problem for you. Sometimes we get so far in our journey, so far in our process, that we kind of forget who we used to be, right? Sometimes we forget the version one of ourselves, right? I remember my first high ticket investment just like it was yesterday. I was scared shitless. I didn't know if it was gonna work. It was my absolute last, and it literally, me and my husband, we prayed about it. We talked. So when you hear people say, "Oh, I need to pray about it," but some of y'all like, why? You know you need to do it. Okay, that's you. That's ego. That's what you think. But for some people who haven't done these things, you got to keep in mind, like, a lot of what we teach and a lot of what we do is brand new to people, right? And so because it's brand new to them, this is their month one with this information, and this is your year 22 with this information. You see the difference? If you a vet and you've been doing this for 22 years, you cannot for some reason logically think through what were you like with your first version of that or your first time with that. So I think this is where grace and understanding has to come in place. That's why you don't never see me shaming people who don't invest with me. They're not there yet. They have not mentally done things like that. So I don't get caught up in that. I really don't. And, truth be told, it ain't my business. Some of us are so engaged and so invested in stuff that's not our business. It's not my business why you won't spend money with me. That's your business. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You ain't got to, matter of fact, you ain't even got to tell me your why on why you're not doing business with me. It ain't my business. Maybe you found somebody else. Maybe you found something cheaper. Maybe life happened. Maybe you decided you don't even want to do the business no more. Whatever it is, it's not my business. My business is, I'm in the business of helping you win when you're ready. That's why I don't do like high pressure sales tactics and strategies and like cuss y'all out for not investing in like you a loser or you a sucker or you a this or that. And I don't do that. I don't do trickery shit. I don't do trickery sales tactics to try to get people to spend money with me, right? I only want to work with the best. I only want to work with those who see themselves at a high level. I only want to work with those who willingly want to invest with me. I'm not chasing you down. I'm not going to be begging you, hey, please work with me. We'll put our systems in place, our follow-ups in place, but you will never see me begging anyone to do business with me because I'm a firm believer of whoever I'm meant to serve will show up, see the value in me, and spend money with me. The end, right? 1 second. Yeah. So my husband told me to talk about like how I created the habit of investing in high ticket. If y'all want to know, just put yes in the chat. Like, how do I make it normal? Like going to buy a cheeseburger. How did I normalize investing in myself? If you all want to know, just put yes in the chat. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And before I get into the story, let me answer this question. Do you think being around the wrong people can cause your business not to grow? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a great lead into my story. Okay. So Audria 1.0, because I feel like I'm in version 9.0, head to 10.0. But Audria 1.0 was a regular smegular person from Memphis, Tennessee. My job was, I worked at, my very first job was Kroger. Then I started working at Best Buy. No, before Best Buy it was FedEx. So Kroger, FedEx, Best Buy. And then I became a flight attendant. And then I started doing what I got into entrepreneurship. But prior to all of that, I was the queen of free. If I wanted something, I will Google it to death. I would YouTube it to death. I was that person that would try to find knockoff versions of Photoshop when Photoshop was just software based. I was the person who was trying to like get something for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was the cheapest. When I went to the stores, I would always go to the clearance racks. Let me say this as I'm going through this. Before I finish this story, or as I'm telling this story, I don't want you to think that I'm judging you. I'm just telling you what I had to do and how I had to transform to get to where I am. I wanna put that out there because I don't want y'all to be thinking, well, I go to the clearance rack, or I want to tell you behaviors that you're doing unconsciously that's keeping you broke. That's what this is about. I'm telling you my story, and I'm gonna speak to some things, and I'm gonna tell you how some things are keeping you broke. Some of the ways you process information is literally the reason why you haven't had however much money you want in your life. I don't want to tie a particular number because for some of you, you don't give a shit about making 6 figures, or you don't care about making 7 figures, or whatever the case may be. For some of y'all, you'll be happy to just make an extra $1,000 a month. That could be life changing for you because it was life changing for me, right? So back in the day, I was the queen of shopping the clearance rack. I was the queen of, trying to get something super cheap. I was anti-designer bag. I was that girl that was like, I would never spend that kind of money on a bag. I was also the girl who was like, I don't understand why people spend all that money on shoes and clothes and stuff like that. I was always trying to get dresses for under $50. I would never spend more than $30 for a purse. It was rules. But these rules was given to me by my family. My mama never had a designer bag. We always got bags from Walmart and Target and so on and so forth, right? So it was, and let's just be clear. We really weren't shopping at Target. We were shopping at Walmart. And y'all remember Walmart used to they would bring out their new inventory. I probably, so y'all go get it. But at Walmart, it was dope because like every week, Walmart would get their new inventory and then they would put it on the end cap. So this is when you found out about all the new trends, all the new fashions, all the new purses. And whenever we would buy stuff, if the purse was like $50, we're like, nah, we're going to wait for it to go on clearance. We're going to wait on it to go down. Okay. And I'm going to tie all of this back here in a moment. So as I'm doing all of that, I'm living my life, doing my thing. And then I discovered something I actually get passionate about, right? Because some of us are just coasting. Some of us are just coasting and we're not conscious of the fact that we're actually just coasting in life. Some of us haven't had a spark. Some of us haven't had anything that shake us up to make us actually want to do something different or shake us up to a point of change. And so for me, that was me going to a photography studio, seeing a friend getting photos taken and thinking to myself, ain't no way in the hell she just paid bro to take photos of her. Ain't no way. Now, this was obviously, in 2007, 6, somewhere up in there, right? For the life of me, it blew my mind that she came to a studio, got some photos taken, and paid bro to take photos of her. To me, I was the girl always taking photos for free at school. I would take photos for free, go get it developed, and I would give them away. That's what I thought. So for me, I never knew that being a photographer could be a career, right? So I get interested. So I asked him straight up. I said, hey man, can you teach me, how to take pictures? And he told me straight up to my face, no. He didn't give me why he was saying no. Bruh just straight up said no. And 2 things will happen when you actually get the spark and when you actually want to learn something. You ask the person and what they can say. First off, the old me 1.0 was very ego related. Like, oh, I can't believe he told me no. He should want to help me. I'm a black person. I'm a woman. He should want to help a fellow photographer. Blah, blah, blah. The future photographer. He should want to help me. Bro, don't owe me shit. And that's what's wrong with some of y'all too. Some of y'all online are so entitled, and I see it because it was me. Me back in the day was so entitled. I was like, bruh, he should so teach me photography. I'm so hungry. I'm asking, show me. Basically, what I'm asking him for is his expertise, his skill set, the skill that he has acquired to make money. And so he told me no. So 2 things could happen. I could have been like, well, I really ain't really about photography. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I thought I wanted to do photography. Yeah, I don't want to do that no more. But for some reason, it never left me because I had a passion for photography. So what did I do? I took my ass to Barnes and Nobles and I found every book I could possibly can on digital photography, right? And at the time, I didn't even own a camera. How you gonna be a photographer with no camera? Now that I'm telling this, I'm telling y'all because I'm gonna get here in some, okay? I'm gonna speed it up. I'm trying to slow it down. I want to tell it too fast, but I want you to get the context. So I wanted to learn photography, so I go to Barnes and Nobles to look at all the digital photography books, and I came across a book by Scott Kelby, which is called Digital Photography, and it's the most easiest, simple book on learning digital photography because at the time I wasn't a big reader, so I was looking for books with big text that was super easy, very short. I wasn't looking for those like encyclopedia type of books because I'm trying to learn this thing fast, right? So I find this book. And it's easy. It's like get the camera, turn the ISO on this, turn the aperture on this, put the lens on like this, step this far from the subject. And so I'm learning photography really fast because I went and learned the book, right? Now I know you're thinking, okay, well, how you learning photography if you ain't got no camera? Let me tell you how I get a camera. So I had a homeboy in Memphis. He was like the club photographer where he was taking pictures of everybody. He also was taking pictures of families. So families would come to his business and he would do family portraits for them and stuff like that. So let's just call him King Automatic. All right. So King Automatic will put his camera on automatic. I personally wanted to be a professional. Okay. I didn't want to just put my camera on automatic and take pictures. Like I was trying to do like magazine quality type photography, right? And so that requires you to use a certain type of lighting, a certain type of all of that. But at the time, I didn't know that's what he was teaching me. Through my learnings and through me reading the books, I was able to see like, oh, actually, this is how you're supposed to put this setting and this is how you're supposed to put this setting. So luckily for me, we were cool and he had multiple cameras and he let me borrow one of his cameras. So whenever I would have photo shoots, I would take the camera, take pictures of my client, take my memory card out and give him back the camera. And two, I made enough money to afford my own camera. And then once I went and bought my own camera, it was lights out. So then I started taking pictures of people and then I got known as a photographer. So I'm a skip past that. So that's like my first entry into entrepreneurship, right? I'm a photographer. I'm taking pictures of everybody. I had 2 photography studios in Memphis. I then got into graphic design, started doing graphic design for people, doing website design for people. Then I became a publisher. I'm fast pacing to get to the point. And then I became a publisher of a magazine called Love New Art. We did some community events. Cool. Moved on. Me and my husband created a business called Juice Me Baby, where we would make juices for people. Moving on, right? Now, at this point, I'm trying all of these hustles. I'm doing all of these things and nothing is really making any real money. And when I say real money, I'm talking about money to pay bills. For me, I always only wanted to make enough to pay bills because I got sick and tired of being late. I got sick and tired of calling for extensions. I got sick and tired of not being able to always being a month behind. That shit was like, it annoyed me to no end. So I'm over here like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of like not being able to pay my bills comfortably. And I'm sick of really thinking about it. Right. So I said, okay, something got to change. Something has to change. So I get on the internet, YouTube, and you know how you type in life videos, like how to improve your life, how to make money, how to whatever. Like you just start typing up stuff that's different than what's going on right now. How to something, right? And then one of the things that I ended up noticing was like, I started finding like these online gurus online who had YouTube channels, and I would watch their videos and then they would make recommendations for other people or other things. And so the first 2 books that I read was Book Yourself Solid by Michael Port and The E-Myth. Those were the 2 books that I read. And I'm not even lying because the first audio book in my Audible account is The E-Myth. And then shortly after that was Book Yourself Solid. Those 2 books changed everything for me. And it was kind of like my introduction to marketing. And so as I'm learning all of this and I'm learning all of this marketing, I'm thinking to myself like, dang, okay, what if I actually start applying some of these things? So the email taught me that I was the only person and that I should have created systems and processes. It was the first book that really talked about systems. Imagine that. I'm talking about it in 2022. But like that was the first book that really emphasized the importance of having systems and processes. Book Yourself Solid was about how to get so many clients you don't even know what to do with it, right? And at the time, the first thing he talked about in the book was like the red velvet rope. And he talked about getting rid of people you don't want to work with. I'm not going to go into deep end on that, but let's just say those were the two books that really kind of catapult me into this industry. So I get the book, I'm reading the books, and I'm like invigorated. Like, because once you start going in this rabbit hole, you start meeting new people, you start seeing new communities and things like that. So program comes around and I decide, oh man, I really want to join this program. And the program was $2,000, so you could do 4 payments of $550. I think that's what it was. And I really wanted to be a part of this program. Now, at the time, you know, it ain't really working out for us, right? At the time, it ain't really working out for us. So I'm like, man, I really want to join this program. And I did something that was so, some people would say it was stupid, but can y'all just put faith in the chat? Can y'all just put faith in the chat? Sometimes you're going to do something money related and it's going to be completely stupid to people around you. Cuz they're going to question, "Well, why would you do that? Well, why would you spend your last on this? Or why would you this?" And obviously everybody is not everybody is not going to be eager to take a leap or have faith. But for me, I knew if I wanted to change, I needed to do something differently, right? I knew that it was something that this person had in this $2,000 course that made them a multimillionaire, and I was a zeronaire, okay? I'm tired of being a zeronaire, okay? Zeronaire. Like, I'm tired of being broke. Literally, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of not having money. I'm sick of my bank account being in the negative. I'm sick of having bad credit. I'm sick of it. I am up to my eyeballs with being broke. I'm sick of it. Like, I got so sick that seeing other broke people made me mad. Like, I was so sick of being broke. Oh my God. So, I was so sick of being broke. So anyway, I was sick of being broke. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm working this job, right? Because I had to go back and get my job, right? So I'm working at the church and I'm like, man, I'm making a little money. I'm not making a lot. We making enough to make ends meet. And I was like, all right, I'm finna spend this money, right? It was the first payment for the program was $550. And I don't know how the hell I was going to pay the other $2,000. Like, first off, I didn't even have $2,000. Can we say that? I only had enough for the deposit. Just put deposit in the chat. I only had enough for the deposit. So I paid the $550, which is the first payment. And when you get in the program, you know, it was one of those programs that like dripped everything out to you. So I could only get the first month of content, or the first week of content, whatever the drip system was. And I remember going into this group and seeing all of these people talk about how much money they make. Now, this is where I pause, and this is where you really need to pay attention. So if you weren't listening to me up until this point, this is the part of the story where you need to sit up, get your pen and paper, and take notes on what I'm about to say. So I'm in this group, I'm in this Facebook group, and all of these women are talking about how much money they making. Oh girl, I just made 6 figures. I just made 100,000. I just made 50,000. I just made fill in the blank. All the shit you hear people say on the internet. And this is where, because some of y'all are skeptics. Some of you all are like, ain't no way you can make that much money. Ain't no way. And I'm going to tell you this. If you don't believe, you're right. I'm done convincing people of the impossible. Because you got to keep in mind, this is a girl who could barely make the first payment. And all I'm drilled with in this group is about how such and such is in Forbes, how this person is on the cover of X, how this person is making money, how these two people came together, collaborated, and kaboom, made a whole lot of money, how this person is launching their first conference. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a whole nother world. Because back home, everybody thinking about going out to eat, working a job, going back home, hanging out on the weekend, smoking blunts, getting high. Ain't nobody talking about launching a conference, launching a webinar, creating a funnel. Like, wasn't nobody even talking about this stuff. So you got to keep in mind, I literally went from, oh God, I didn't know that was going to make me emotional. I literally went from being in my world where a lot of people at the time really wasn't thinking about improving their life or having a better life, to going in this Facebook group and it's on fire with all these people from all over the world. And it was an international group, people from New Zealand, people from China, people from here, people from there, people from everywhere. And I'm just like, this can't be real. Y'all lying. Ain't no way y'all making all this money. Ain't no way. Ain't no way y'all making all this money. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. One of y'all lying, and y'all ain't telling the truth. What, you know how you want to pull back the veil and be like, I knew it. I knew you was lying. Like, I wanted to not believe so bad, but it was happening so much. And it went from, oh, y'all lying, to shit, I should try it. I'm in this program. I paid this money. Let me give it a try. So I created the free training that I was telling y'all about earlier. And when I created this training, it was called 10 Steps to Launching a Premium Brand. At the time, we were using lead pages. Okay. I was using lead pages and MailChimp. And I created a training, and basically the concept was people would go to an opt-in page. They would, matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Oh God, where would it be if I had it? Let me see if I can find it. .key. Give me 1 second. Do y'all want to see what it looked like? Let me see if I can pull this up. Because back then, they were just saying they was doing it. They didn't have proof. So I want to make sure that I'm showing proof so y'all don't think that I'm like, bluffing. Because people do be lying on the internet. Let me see. When I find it, I'm going to share it in the Facebook group. Okay. When I find it, I'm going to share it in our Facebook group, in our free Facebook group. So if you're not in a Facebook group, check that out. Okay. But anyway, it was a little training, and it was called 10 Steps to Launching a Premium Brand. It was a pre-recorded video. And essentially, y'all don't know this, but when I first came online, I wanted to be a course creator. I wasn't trying to be no coach, consultant, none of that. I was just trying to create courses because I was very techie, geeky, branding, graphic design, like that was my thing. So I wasn't really trying to coach people. And so we put together this training. And basically with this training, people could book a call with me if they watched the training. Because the way I had it at the time was a time button. So it's like they watched the video and then the button would show up after like halfway. Because I didn't want everybody to book a call who, think about how strategic I was back then before I even knew what the hell I was doing. So I was like, I don't want everybody to book the call. I only want people who watch the training to actually be able to book a call. So the button didn't appear until you've watched a certain part, like so much of the video. So like after you watched about 50% of the video, a button would pop up and say, hey, book a call, right? People were booking this call. I'm talking about my calendar was booked to the max. I'm talking about like I was called on call. I was talking to people from all time zones. I had to literally, let me tell y'all how foreign this is. It was Memphis all day for me. All I knew was Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't know about all the different states. I didn't know about all the different time zones. I didn't know about all, you know about countries, but if you don't go there, you're not really looking for it. You're not studying it. So I literally had to go to Barnes and Nobles and buy a world map. Okay. Buy a world map. And the world map showed me all the states and all the countries. And whenever I had a call, let's just say, because I had a client in Brazil and I had a client in Singapore, I literally would take a thumbtack. I would literally would take a thumbtack and I would tack on the thing where I was talking to a client from. So I was like, oh, I got a client from Singapore today. Boom. And then I would use a time converter and it will tell me what time it was for the client in Singapore. Then I would have another client from Brazil. And then I'll be like, well, what time is it in Brazil? And so I put a thumbtack on there and then I would add the time converter. And so because I was talking to people in the UK and Singapore, all of these different things, I legit became like a time genius because I could see all these different time zones and all of the things. And so whenever I would consult with people, I had to make sure I was available and I had to block off time on my calendar. So anyway, I do all of these calls and I'm having these calls with people. And one particular client was like, well, how do I work with you? And I was like, work with me? Y'all know what's crazy? I built this damn funnel or thing and I didn't even know what I was going to be selling. I didn't have nothing to sell. See, a lot of stuff that I'm telling y'all think that like I'm just be on y'all ass just to be an asshole. And that's not it. Like the reason we have an entire offers planner, okay, offer system, reason we walk you through step by step how to create an offer is because at the time I didn't have an offer. I had nothing to sell this person. So what did I do? I said, hey, well, let me get back with you. I said, give me till Monday and I got you. So I went and created an offer. Now, let me tell you something. When you don't know how to create an offer, you will sell your soul for pennies. Okay? When you don't know how to create an offer, you will sell your soul for pennies, especially if your relationship with money is not good. Let me explain. So I presented to her this $5,000 package. Okay. I presented her this $5,000 package. Now, as a person who ain't never had a client a day in her life to give her $5,000, in my mind, I was just trying some shit. Okay. Literally. So I was like, I'm going to just put something together and I'm going to put this thing, and I just presented it to her. And she was like, this is actually good. I was like, good? It is? Shit, I don't know. So she said, this is good. And so I'm like, all right. But she said, I don't want to start with the full package. I just want to do this part. And I was like, okay, that's like $900 and some dollars. She paid it that night. And at that moment, it clicked. Oh, shit. It's about to go down. At that moment, it clicked. Now, mind you, I was too busy trying to get clients in the United States, if you will. So for my first client to be from Singapore, it was game changer. I was like, wow, I got a client in Asia. Like, this is crazy. So anyway, she signed on, and the package that she got was basically me helping her brand her business. So like create an ebook, help her plan out her photos, create all her graphics for social media, like all the things. And at the time, because I didn't know my worth, I didn't know my value. Hell, I didn't have no worth, being honest. Like, I probably had some worth, but I didn't know it. I was just happy to make some money because I was tired of being broke. So somebody who ain't never seen this much money a day in their life, like, and have somebody say, yes, there's an opportunity. So from her call thereafter, because remember, I told y'all my calendar was booked. So every other call, I now had something to sell. So at the conclusion, if somebody would ask me, hey, how do I work with you? I would have this package. Hey, you want this package? And within 60 days, we made $20,000. Okay. Within 60 days, we made $20,000. And I'm really trying to find this because I went from being a girl, Man, where is this? Give me 1 second, y'all. Because I really want to show y'all this. Hold on. I went from being a girl who could barely afford, let's see, barely afford anything to $20,000. And you know what happens when you make that kind of money that fast? Just put in the chat what happens. Somebody put in the chat what happens. I found the presentation. There is a God. There is a God. All right. I'm going to show y'all. Oh, this the other one. Hold on. Let me get video 3. Which one was this one? That's the tour guide. That's the grain. 1 second, y'all. This from 2015. 2015, 2014, what I'm showing you. Tour guide. BBB. Let me type that in because it was for my BBB program. Oh, there we go. I found it. Okay. Let me share my screen. This is my exact keynote from 2015. So, can y'all see this? Let me zoom in so y'all can see this. So y'all see this? This is from 2015, this slide deck. And if you don't believe me, let's look at Get Info. When was this created? I should have the original metadata in here because this is from 2015. I don't know why. Because I moved it from my computer. But I made this in 2015. Okay. Now, with this, let me show you. Remember that funnel I talked about? This is the funnel. Remember I was telling y'all I had the 15-minute training, blah, blah, blah. And I had the page. And then after time, the button would show up and all of that. Right? Right. I accidentally made some money because I ain't had no offer. I wasn't trying to make no money. Let me show y'all. Can y'all see this? 20,500. So from April 18, 2014 to June 17, 2014, I made $20,527.40. And you will see all you in PayPal, you will see all the maps and locations where I was getting money. So you can hopefully y'all can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in even more. As you can see, all the green places is where I had clients, where I had clients from. So remember the client I told you in Singapore? Singapore is over here. Okay. Remember the client I was telling you in Brazil? Boom. So like literally I made $20,527.40. Now, let me tell you something about this. When you make that kind of money, okay, a few things happen. You ain't never had it before. You know how y'all ever heard the song? I ain't gonna say the first part of it, but it's like people be acting like money like they ain't never had it. Have y'all ever heard that song? It's like a rap song. But I think it's by Juvenile. Something like you never ain't had it. Anyway, he was talking about like people be acting like they ain't never had it. Well, I ain't never had it. I don't know what it's like to have $20,000 cash. Okay. So I'm going. Guess what we do? Me and Cal, we going to the furniture store. We going to this place and that place. We buy up the bars, they say. Like I literally went. This is gonna be funny. So we went to this furniture store, and at the time we bought like a whole furniture kit. We bought new bed because we had our mattress set was janky. We didn't even have no living room furniture. Okay. So we finally got furniture for the first time for our living room because me and Calvin was very early in our marriage. We're about to celebrate 10 years. But this was probably like what, year 1 or 2, babe? Or maybe year 3 of our marriage because we got married in 2013. So this was in 2014, 2015. So we weren't even married that long. So we like, man, let's go ahead and get it. And we buying up couches. We buying up furniture for the house. And then I said, can I do it again? Like, no, this is when I became a believer. So remember when I told you, like, all the people in the group that were talking about how much money they were making and all that? I'm like, somebody lied. Somebody lied. So once it happened to me, I turned into a believer. Okay, I got saved with money. I turned into a believer. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Y'all wasn't lying. So then this is when I leaned in because I'm like, okay, well, I made 20 grand. They said they made 100 or they made 50 or they made 60. I want to know, can I do that? Can I do it again? Basically. Because like once you try this out and you do it, you like, can I do it again? So the first time I did this, I didn't really know I was launching. Okay. I just did. I had no idea I was launching. And you can see why I love launching so much. Because launching literally changed my life. Okay? Literally. Every time I launched, I made money. Every time. Whether it was a little bit of money or a whole lot of money. So guess what I decided to do? I'm going to get good at launching. So I did the first launch, made $20,000. Did the second launch, made $45,000. And so on and so forth, right? This last launch, when we did the systems launch, that was $260,000 or something like that. But you get what I'm saying? What'd you say? Oh, the UnCloned marketing book launch was like 200,000, so on and so forth. So anyway, I became a believer. Okay, the What the Polish challenge, that was, about 200,000, close to what, it was like 190, something like that. But like, you see how I'm casually talking about this because I've done it 70 times. I've launched 70 times. So when I say y'all need to launch, you need to launch, you need to launch, y'all think that I'm just trying to give you busy work. I'm trying to give you work that's going to get you paid. For real. And if you've ever launched and it flopped, it's because you either half-assed it, you didn't put your best energy forward, or you didn't spend time on developing your offer, your sales process, so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? So like, I need you all to understand that like when you can launch, right? You will never be broke a day in your life because when you master it, you could be like, how much money I want to make in November? Okay, let's shoot for it. Like, oh, let's launch next week. And then you start having fun with it. I'm like, oh, I'm doing webinar launches. I'm doing challenge launches. I'm doing 3-part video series launches. I'm doing web class launches. I'm doing content launches. I'm doing, you get what I'm saying? Like, I just like, shit, I want to try that launch style, this launch style, this launch style. I done did every launch style that we teach in my book. I done did one-on-one launch styles. I done did audio calls launch styles. I done did all the launch styles. So y'all think I created this product out of this is from experience. You can't make a product like this if you don't have no experience. You can't. So when everybody be out here coaching y'all and all the things, I got plenty of receipts. I got plenty of results. The thing is, launching is hard. It is. Look at the shit. Look at the planner. It's hard. But if you don't spend time to truly sit down and master, because it's a skill. I look at launching like sewing or learning how to make or create something. Launching is definitely a skill. But once you master it, like for real, like take your time to truly master it, I promise you, man, it's like printing money. It's like printing money. It's like printing money. And I'm not making any income claims. But I just want you all to know that like when you master it, it's just a matter of like really doing it. So anywho, I do want to tell y'all about something that we're about to do. I wasn't going to announce this, but I feel like it's very touching about what we're talking about, or it's very relevant for this moment. So because I know launching is a skill and that it has to be repetitive, like you have to develop repetition in order to master it, we're actually going to be creating a membership. It's going to be called the UnCloned Launch Circle. And it's all about launching over and 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 over. It's a membership that you will be able to subscribe to. And every month we will go over a different launch style and we will give you swipe files, examples of how it works. And the whole goal is to make sure you create launching as a habit. So I'm super excited about this membership. It's going to be extremely affordable for those people who can't invest in the mastermind. It's a great entry point into the mastermind because if you're in the mastermind, you automatically be getting this. But the beauty in this is that I want to make sure that you all are like understanding the anatomy of a launch, all the components, because if you're doing it for the first time, you're going to be like, oh, hell no. I got to write all these emails. I got to do all of this. I got to do all of that. Yeah, you do. You do. So if I can get you to make it a habit, then every month it's going to turn from like, oh, that's a lot of work to damn, I made a whole lot of money in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be able to say, oh shit, I made 50 grand last month. I made 20 grand last week. Girl, I did a workshop and made 100,000. Oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that will never be your norm if you don't understand and take the time to actually master the skill. Right? That's why I wrote the book. Okay? Wherever it's at. That's why I wrote the book. Okay? This is a great introduction to it if you don't have it. Head over to audriarichmond.shop and grab it. Okay? Also, if you want to take it a step further, I do want to say this. We have not announced this. So previously, you could buy the systems on our site a la carte, anytime, any day. Then we decided like, oh, the only way to get the launch system is join the mastermind. Y'all want to know another way you can get the launch system? Just put yes in the chat. Y'all want to know how else you can get the launch system? Because we about to change the game. We about to change the game. Let me tell you how else you're going to be able to get the launch system. When you join the UnCloned Launch Circle, that's how you're going to get it. We're going to give it to you when you join. So when I tell you we about to change the game, we're about to change the game. And this is a legacy move for us. Yeah, I could charge way more money, but honestly, I want to see you make more money than me. And the best way to do it is to make it somewhat accessible to you all, right? So we're going to try this thing again. It's going to be super dope. It ain't out yet. Just get your money ready. Get your money ready. So when we announce it, we got you, okay? So it's the UnCloned Launch Circle. It's going to be very affordable. When I say very affordable, very affordable. And when you join, we're going to send you a launch system in the mail. So that's going to be the only ways you'll be able to get it. So the only way you'll be getting access to the launch system is if you are in the UnCloned Launch Circle, if you are in the mastermind, or if you attend any of our in-person events. That's the only way you're going to be able to get access to the UnCloned Launch system. So I'm super duper excited about it because even though we have the launch system, the launch circle, because I know some of y'all be like, oh, I already got the launch system. What's the difference? The difference with this is all about repetition and accountability. Like you being able to actually, like you're going to be required to launch. Like launch. Like we're trying to make sure the repetition is there. Because if you can do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, then you can make as much money as you want. Okay? So anywho, if you're on the text message list, if you're on the email list, you'll learn about it. You're going to be notified. Y'all know how I get down. We're going to do it right. We're going to launch and you're going to be able to enroll. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And I'm super duper excited about it. So anywho, with that, yeah, it'll be perfect for anybody. You're a service provider, physical product, service. It doesn't matter. If you sell a product or a service, we got you. Why? Because I sell products and services. My mastermind goes all the way up to $100,000 at the time of this recording. And then I sell something that is like, $10, $5 in my site. So I have experience with physical as well as digital, as well as high ticket. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to launch something cheap, inexpensive, or expensive. I got you. Yeah. So, but if you want to be coached by me more intimately, want to have access, all of that, you need to be in the mastermind. Okay. Let me also say this. The UnCloned Launch Circle is not a replacement for the mastermind. Let me be clear. We're going to be talking about launching and all the things, but it's not going to be like the mastermind. The mastermind is like having me at 150% at your beck and call, ready to serve. That's what the mastermind is. Okay. So anywho, but yeah, so I make this money and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. So I began to start launching over and over and over and over and over. And what I noticed was my launches was getting bigger, but something else that I noticed that I was doing that was also contributing to my success. So this was my thought process. I was like, if you all want to learn about the mastermind, you can go to unclonedmastermind.com and apply, and we'll send you information if we feel like you qualify for it. What was cool was once I started to launch over and over and over and over, one of the things that ended up happening was I would buy a course, getting a Facebook group, build a network. I was like, ooh. I would buy a course, getting a Facebook group, build a network. Now, I'm talking about paid groups. I'm not talking about free groups. Some of y'all in a bunch of free groups. I'm not talking about free groups. There's a big ass difference between a paid group and a free group. Okay. Free group, everybody can be a part of it. Some people come and choose as they go. You know, some free Facebook groups are good, aka ours. However, it's not the same with a paid group, because when you're in a paid group, everybody paid to be in the room. And so my investment started changing. I was like, okay, I spent $2,000. Well, what happened if I spend $3,500? What happens if I spend $5,000? What happens if I spend $10K? What happens if I spend $15K? What happens if I spend $25,000? What happens if I spend, you get what I'm going with this? So right now, the highest investment that I have personally made, I'm at 2 mastermind, that's $25,000 each, that's $50,000. So collectively, that's a $50,000 investment. So for me, I'm already seeing the power of a $50,000 investment. It's like, oh my God, like, look at the people in me. Everybody, see, we don't have conversations about, oh my God, you know, that costs too much. I got to buy that tool and this tool and this tool. Well, I already got that tool. That ain't happening in these, like, the conversations in these masterminds is night and day. This ain't no mediocre conversations that's happening. They talking about, you know, partnering, doing partnerships. They're talking about building teams, hiring, firing. Like, we're not talking about basic stuff like, how do I use this tool and somebody help? Like, the conversation is different. The more money you spend, the bigger the groups that you begin to go in, the more you're going to open up your scope, and the more you get outside of your world that's telling you to stay small, right? When everything around you is telling you to stay small, you doing too much, you spending too much money. Why are you paying for that, girl? I thought you just went on a trip last week. What you doing over here? What you doing over there? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? Like, if your outside world is questioning why you want to be dope, then you're not in the right rooms. Does that make sense? I'm so glad that I have weeded out all the people who don't believe in me. There was a time when I had friends who like, I don't get it. Why you spending all that money on that? Da, da, da. Now, me and my friends, we be racing to spend money. We be like, shit, what you going to this week? All right, cool, bet. Let me book my flight. Oh, you going to that conference? Bet. Let me go ahead and book my flight. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and get our first class tickets to go here. Okay, cool. You want a vacation for 2 weeks? Great. Let me go ahead and, like, conversations are night and day. I could never have this conversation with my family. I just can't. Because they don't get it. And that's the thing, y'all. Y'all be so busy trying to get people to get it who will never, ever get it. The lens is totally different. You trying to ask your broke ass friends for advice on what you should invest in and who you should work with. That's wrong. Like, what can somebody broke tell you? Let's be honest. They can give you some wisdom, maybe some life wisdom, maybe. I don't know. Like anyway, I said all that to say, the more I invested, the bigger rooms I got in, right? And I need you all to understand the power of proximity of success. To be in these groups with millionaires and 6-figure earners, and we're casually talking about investments, that's totally different than, well, should I sign up for that $99 a month thing? I'm trying to see if I want to, oh God, honestly, I'm allergic to, I'm allergic. Let me take a sip of water. Let me take a sip of water. I just, I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Let me stop. Let me take a sip of water. I'm gonna come back to this. One second. I am allergic to poor thinking. Okay. I am allergic to poor thinking. I just am. My brain automatically know when we're going into poor land. Okay. I just already know when we're going there. And when I say poor thinking, it's different than being poor. If you poor, I get it. That used to be me. Okay. That used to be me. And even when I started making money, I thought I was poor still because I was doing poor shit. I had poor habits. I'm making six figures and I'm still shopping in the clearance section because my brain haven't switched to the fact that I will never be broke again. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I said thinking poor. Because you can have a whole lot of money and still think poor. You can have a whole lot of money and don't make investments. You can have a whole lot of money and be hoarding it on and like not doing nothing with it. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I really do feel like before you can even really accept wealth and money and all the things, you got to truly believe that you deserve it. So, do we have any questions? I told y'all some stories. Y'all now know a little bit more if you haven't already. I also really recommend that if you want to like hear my story again, but hear me in the interview format, I highly recommend you check out my podcast interview that I did with David Shands on the Social Proof podcast. Probably one of my best interviews I've ever done in my entire life. This man, David, man, he is an amazing interviewer. And he got shit out of me that honestly, I didn't know if I was open. Like, it was just so relaxing. He's such a great interviewer. So if you haven't checked him out, make sure you do that. So if you have any questions, put in the chat. I'll answer a few questions and then we'll go from there. All right. Just bless my whole life. You are absolutely welcome. The doors of the church are now open. LOL. Love that interview. Will you be launching the launch circle before Black Friday? When am I gonna announce this? My launch calendar. We got this. Yes. Yes. I will be launching it before then. How do you avoid burning out? Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna say the first time I experienced burnout was in 2020. But 2020 was also my most lucrative year in business. We made almost $900,000 in a year. And it was like, this book had just came out. I had like damn near like got a 20, 30,000 new followers. I had all this new attention. The book was coming out. We were selling out like hotcakes. We couldn't keep the book. Hell, we still can't keep the book on hand. And just so you all know, we are actually about to start doing like a free plus shipping funnel. So if y'all want to stick around and wait to get that, you can. But there's that. This book changed my life, but it also broke my life. Let me explain. So this book is amazing. Okay, it took off. I've been getting opportunities nonstop. My book is now being taught in people's curriculum. We are building a certification around the book. Like, this book was everything for us, right? But when I say that I broke myself, this was the first time my calendar was booked to the max. Month after month after month. One-on-one call after one-on-one call, VIP day after VIP day. I'm talking about my calendar was booked to the max every single month. I was speaking at this place, speaking at that place, going to this place, doing this thing. I was everywhere. Okay. And I said, when 2021 came around, I was so tired. Me and Calvin was looking at each other like, we're tired. Like, we was tired. Like, we was just like, I'm so tired. Like, why am I so tired? And I looked at my calendar and I looked at what we did. And I said, man, I ain't gonna never work that hard to make that kind of money. And that's when we was like, okay, it gotta get real. You gotta find somebody who can be like your, somebody you can train who know the content. So that's when I started to take developing the systems more seriously, because I was like, I need a tool that I can teach and train other people who can come in and help me. And then that's how we got our program success manager. I started training her on our products and programs and systems. And we're about to launch a certification program, because I can't be the only one out here teaching marketing, right? I'm only one me. I'm only Audria, but I don't want people to be so attached to me that if you need to work with our program success manager or our certified partners, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can trust that they've been trained by the best, and so they should be the best. So with that being said, that was the first year that I really experienced burnout. And it broke my business, because for the first time in my business history, I literally could not even schedule anything because we was booked to the max. And I literally had to break my business and say, what is wrong with the business? Well, you need to have this in place. You need to have this in place, and you need to have this in place. Right. And I had to literally close off different offers that we had and restructure them so we could bring in team and have support. So I know what it's like to be burned out, and the only way to avoid burnout is to actually take breaks, is to actually take naps. Actually, my friends, people who know me personally, and my friends, they're like, buddy, I always tell people it's nap time. Actually, this is my nap time. Yeah, I'm here live with y'all. I love y'all, but this is my nap time. This is the time where I take a nap and I get my brain recharged up and ready to roll, right? So like, I take more naps. I go to sleep. There's still some other things that I want to do. So let's just call this phase one of self-care. And I'm moving into phase two, where it's like, it's on my calendar and it's a requirement. So, you avoid burnout by actually taking breaks. You avoid burnout by being honest with how you feel and leaning into that. If you tired, sit your ass down. I know that's probably not like the best advice, but like, that's what I had to tell myself, because you can always keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, like you're the Energizer bunny, and you will blow up. Literally, you will implode from just going over and over and over and over and over and over. And if you do it too much, where you not stopping, God will make a way for you to stop. Okay? God will make a way for you to stop. Somebody could die. You could get sick. Something could snap off in your mind. You could be messed up mentally. So if you don't honor the break that your body is telling you need to take, God will make a way for it to happen. Guaranteed. 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 Because if you think you can outdo God, you got another thing coming. Like, let's not even play with that. So anyway, hopefully I answered your question. What email automation that will send my clients the next direction for onboarding after they check out my one-on-one consult page in Shopify? That's a very specific question. That would be great for the mastermind. I believe you already own one of the systems, so just come to the Q&A call so we can help you with that. How do you break broke thinking? Oh, that's a good question. That's like a whole nother live. Like, okay, we got time. I'm gonna answer that question, then we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna answer that. I think that's a great question to close with. So let's talk about it. How do you break broke thinking? You break broke thinking by doing the opposite of broke things. So for instance, if you are a clearance rack shopper, buy something full price. If you are a coach seat buyer, when you fly, you just gotta be coach. It gotta be the cheapest flight, buy first class. If you are a person that you won't buy a course over $1,000, buy a course that's $2,000. The way you break broke thinking by doing the opposite, right? So one of the things that another broke thinking thing I used to have was like, oh, females don't like me, da 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 da. I'm anti-friends, forget girls, blah blah blah. Girls don't want to be my friend. That's broke thinking still. Okay, can we just say broken thinking, not just money broke, but just broken thinking? And I literally prayed one day and I was like, God, I want amazing women in my life. I want amazing women who check in on me. I want amazing women who are not catty, who don't get jealous by my success, who genuinely gonna love me, blah, blah, blah. And literally, like within a month later, I started meeting these really dope, epic, amazing women who don't forget my birthday, who send me birthday gifts, who check in on me, who actually call me. So when you have broke thinking, you actually will attract brokenness, right? You will attract it because your body is just like you're vibrationally attracting anything wrong. Anything like your mind can't even see the light and positivity in anything. Your brain automatically go into, oh, okay, well, you know she was throwing shade, or you know such and such was doing such and such. Like your mind start formulating stuff that's not even real, right? So in order to stop to break broke thinking, you have to take baby steps in doing things that's the opposite. So for me, I used to always what do you call it? I used to always do payment plans. It's nothing wrong with payment plans. But I was like, man, I really want to make so much money that I don't need to be on a payment plan. And I started off on doing payment plans and it became repetition. Like, I'm going to always do a payment plan. I'm going to always do a payment plan. And then one year I bought a course, full pay. I just bought it full pay. And then thereafter, full pay. Now, depending on the investment, like something that's high ticket, like 30,000, something like that, depending on what my cash flow looking like, I may pay for it in full or I may not pay for it in full. But for the most part, I had to break the habit of always putting things on payment plans. So anyway, hopefully that gave you some insight on how you could go about that. So yeah. I did the same. I prayed and attracted the same day. It was almost scary. Yes, and this is another thing. Like we always, I feel like we should pray for our dreams and our desires and the things that we want. God be listening, but we don't be asking. We be just dealing with it. You be like, bruh, all you gotta do is put the word out, man. Put the word out. Put the word out. I got you. Put the word out. I got you. So be waiting on us, okay? Even if you're still working a 9-to-5, travel 20 minutes for work and meeting amazing, working in areas I couldn't afford to live in. Yes, that's another thing. Networking up, right? Also, you know, if you go to an event and you always buy general admission, go VIP. You'll be amazed at the difference and the shift in how you feel. Literally, for me, it's like, I gotta fly first class. I gotta go VIP. I gotta be first in the room. I deserve it. I earned it. While I'm sitting in the back. What's the beauty in that? Now, in some stages of your life, you just need to be in the room. But as you elevate, you need to know your value. Okay? This is Legal Paradise in my next workbook called Affirmations for the Healing Heart. That's super dope. Thank you, Audria. I had to go. You're welcome. I had to learn it in order to stop attracting broke clients. Oh, that's a whole nother. Ooh, I'm gonna write that one down because I would go on that. I want to talk about that, Jennifer. How you think can attract broke clients. Some of you all are like, I don't know why I'm not attracting high ticket clients. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to jet out for real this time. The reason that you are not attracting high ticket clients because you ain't never invested high ticket. Mic drop. The reason that I get clients who pay me with no problem because I invest in myself. And so vibrationally, we're on the same level, right? I can have a $50,000 client, a $50,000 conversation with a client because I've spent, you know what I'm saying? I've invested $50,000. I've actually spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal development from 2014 to now. But I'm talking about just, program wise, some of us cannot have that conversation. And this is another thing. Ooh, now I'm going to want to hear this one. Sometimes your clients know the truth and they won't invest with you and they know you flogging in front because you doing broke shit. You doing broke stuff on your live streams. You get what I'm saying? Like, you'll do broke stuff on your live streams, or you have broke marketing activities. Like, broke marketing activity. Oh, let me stop. Like, this gonna be a whole nother. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna save this. Sometimes how you show up is what is a reflection of what you attract. You show up with raggedy branding, you're gonna attract raggedy clients. You show up with low pricing, you're gonna attract, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm creating a brand that my clients can elevate to. I'm not operating at their level because there's no fun in that. I'm always operating at a high level. I'm always spending money at a high level because I want my clients to rise to the occasion. But anyway, there's that. I forgot the day was even Friday. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this live. I had a ball talking to y'all. We've been on here for 2 hours. So much fun. As y'all can tell, like, live is my thing, but I needed a break. So I'm honoring my breaks. But if you all are not tapped in, make sure you join our Facebook group. If you want to get any of our books, you can head over to audriarichmond.shop. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you all. And until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and build an uncloned brand. Peace out, y'all.